Hello, Ruby, and welcome to your earthly and spiritual gifts reading. Let me just hide this control thing so you can see. And if you still have a hard time seeing, I actually attached a copy of your chart to your email so you can read along in case this isn't um, visually appealing for you. So, Ruby, what we are looking at today is this pizza cookie pie thing. This is a representation of your life as Ruby, because Ruby has been many different names, races, religions, and genders over the course of hundreds or possibly even thousands of years as your soul first entered Earth's atmosphere with the goal of gaining so many soul points that you could return to the astral and go wherever you wanted to in the multiverse. So, with that being said, we're going to get into this script for Ruby's life. This script includes everything you've done before, all the lessons you have left to learn, the gifts that you have, and what you even came here for in the very first place. If you would just look at this middle area here, these black areas represent the way that the sky was set up at the time that you were born. If you would just imagine for a second that your baby body is a radio receiver because we're made up of protons and neutrons and molecules, these energies here are what enters your baby body, creating a magnetic frequency that pulls you along your path, your consciousness, and the portal with you came through. For you, you're taking the path of the Leo rising. This is all about freedom, self expression, creativity, your relationship with children, but particularly your relationship with your inner child, and finding out what life means to you through doing whatever it is your heart desires, right? So on this path, you have a backlight, which represents what you've already done, and then a front light, which represents what you need to do in order to get those big soul points I mentioned. For you, you are a soul that was used to making money or having to be uh, led by money in a relationship. This could also mean you'd be good at painting, working with horses, law, literature, as a way of earning money for yourself, speaking, working with wine also. But in this life, in order for you to grow, you are meant to be moving away from behaviors that sort of root you back to being in a partnership or focusing on those things, to being independent and earning your money through possibly flipping assets, um, stock market, real estate, just anything that allows you to be yourself and sort of a warrior at wielding the power of others. So, with that being said, I am going to explain what gifts you have in order to make this happen for yourself, starting with the 12th house, which is the house of your psychic gifts, the gifts that sort of stream through you, but you don't even understand that they are a gift. And for you, with this Cancer at the end over here, yours come through emotions. You can feel things that might not even be your feelings sometimes, and you're not even aware of it. This also means that sometimes people will just walk up to you and start telling you their story because they don't understand that you have boundaries. It's just the way your energy is set up. But also sometimes you know what to do to help people and you can recognize it even if they don't realize they need help. And you sometimes cross the boundary just helping all the time. This also gives you a bit of a difficulty where sometimes you give up yourself until you feel depleted and then you get moody because you feel taken for granted with this energy here. Now, as far as you being empath, which is essentially what this skill set is, because you don't even necessarily need to look at anybody to see what's wrong with them or even be in the same place to be able to tap into their energy with your frequency, because that's what this is, just how your radio stations work, for you to know what's wrong with them. This is something that has to be kept in balance. You have to spend time with yourself to get these energies out. Self-care balance with helping other people is the main access that you have here. And this is actually part of what your business is meant to be, using these gifts to help other people with their emotions, because your emotions are really on your sleeve as far as your work goes. The other area you have on here is this Leo. That means through anything you create, your art, your speech, if you tell any stories, if you do any dance or any performance, these will be performances that touch people because they come from things that are bigger than you. You have a lot of energy that says that you have things that stream through you constantly. And I would definitely say take note of your dreams as they are sort of a guiding force in what you need to be doing. Now, the next area we want to discuss is this first house, of self, which makes you the optimist, the storyteller, the motivational speaker, first and foremost. But this Virgo that goes through the first and the second house of self and your actual gifts that you have to earn money for yourself is all about you being of service. And with this Virgo energy ruling your sixth house, it's about being of service through a business online or in humanity or on your community, right? So you will actually be sharing your words or your mind or whatever little ticks you have, like that analysis paralysis that might come over you, just being who you are, is because you're meant to be helping other people heal in regards to things like health, nutrition, fitness, day-to-day life, just how to survive on earth. Now that connects to this south node of what you already know, earning your money through being this person or through these activities or this balance or your partnership or something. But then we have this Scorpio in third, right? This means you communicate or your mind works the same way as like a detective, a psychologist. This also means that you've been through difficult things in regards to people not allowing you to speak or possibly bullying in your local area, even difficulties with your siblings if you have younger siblings. But because you have dealt with these difficulties at an early age, and particularly in connection with your family, it is where your power lies. You have the mind that is able to discern BS, essentially. Like you can spot a creep, you can tell when somebody's body language is off, and nobody knows you're doing it. It's just sort of the way you work. But also, because this is a spiritual gifts reading, this gives you the ability to connect to those from the beyond in a medium way. This is where your unique genius is. And you see the R's on both of these, they're both reflected inside. So your communication will allow you to speak to those who have passed beyond. It will also allow you to tap into the energy of others to help them heal their trauma. What happened to you as a child or through your family really gave you a certain resiliency that is connected to what you're meant to do for the rest of your life. So things might have started off difficult, right? But this second half over here means that you're meant to have a life like as a traveler or an explorer or somebody working as a spiritual guru or just a philosopher. And that was actually held off for you until after 28, where you would reconnect with the tribe that you're meant to connect to. Because your earthly gift that matches this storytelling energy, this philosopher, this traveler, the person that's finally having a good time in life, connects to what your business is. Your business, which is karmic, connects to you doing something with your self-expression. Neptune, which goes with the 12th house, is where this energy comes out. So anything you dream up, anything that comes to your imagination is a part of what is rooted in your business, what you're meant to be sharing, what you're meant to be speaking about. Your feelings are leading you and connecting to your tribe. The ability to understand other people's suffering, especially in your partnership, is what this Pisces energy is about. That is you being able to see through the veil and tell people what they need to hear in regards to their own healing. And that is what will lead you here to where your part of fortune is, which is the spark of life that you have that is sort of leading you. Your luck, yours is in being a fighter. You're going to be teaching other fighters, and that is where your most expansion will come. Teaching the philosophies that you have created for yourself that have given you the life that took you from sort of kind of the underdog to the overdog, maybe. So the next area we want to look at here for your gifts is actually in your 10th house of what you're meant to do for your career. Your Venus, which is how you earn money, your wound, which is the thing you have to overcome, and your sun, which is the root of your identity, are all in being the teacher, the speaker, the writer. And all you have to do is get over that hump that tells you that you're not enough or what you're saying is not important to help other people who have the issue overcome. You are meant to be connected to a group of thinkers, first and foremost. But secondly, women, people who feel a lot, children, you are just the minds, the power, and the dark feminine energy that is meant to be helping to liberate other people who have been through what you have been through. So ma'am, Ruby, you have a great setup here. This was your gifts reading, and thank you so much for this opportunity. Please let me know if you have any questions.